Democrats in several states trying to keep former President Trump from being on the ballot in 2024, and their argument is the 14th Amendment.
The language is specific. If you give aid and comfort to those who engage in an insurrection against the Constitution of the United States, it doesn't say against the United States. It says against the Constitution. And so I think there is a powerful argument to be made.
It's a disqualification from holding office again, and it fits Donald Trump to a T.
But law professor and Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley says, quote, the amendment was written to deal with those who engage in an actual rebellion causing hundreds of thousands of deaths. Advocates would extend the reference to insurrection or rebellion to include unsupported claims and challenges involving election fraud. Former acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker joins us now. Matt, great to have you as always. And to jump off of what Jonathan Turley was saying there, to me, this can be summarized as follows. Even though there is not enough evidence for somebody like Jack Smith to charge Donald Trump with insurrection, Democrats want to keep Trump off the ballot because in their minds, and not based upon anything in the law, this feels a little insurrection-y to them. What say you?
Well, it's good to be with you today, but fortunately that's not how the law is usually interpreted. It's not a matter of feelings or whether it's insurrection-y. It's what matters is what the law says and what the intent of those who drafted. And obviously the 14th Amendment in Section 3 that you quoted and others have quoted was meant to cover the Civil War over 100 years ago. Certainly a very dark moment in American history where Jonathan Turley points out 100 of thousands of people died in that conflict. Now, that being said, obviously the left wants to disqualify Donald Trump because they think he is effective, and if he becomes president, then they worry about that. So they look for ways other than the American people to decide, and that's where I come down on this. So much of our Constitution gives the power to the people, and the people are going to have to decide, who the president should be in 2024, not some judge in some random courthouse in America or ultimately, Congress.
If Trump were to be kicked off a ballot, could our system survive in light of the fact that this isn't just the law? This is literally weaponizing the law and kind of a flawed interpretation of the law to keep your political opponents off the ballot at the outset.
Yes, as you know, Todd, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and this would be no different. If this, really specious legal theory were to be used, then, you would expect that when given the chance that folks on the right would equally use that power against one of the left's candidates. And I just think that is so antithetical to what our founding fathers intended this system to do and how it's supposed to work. And so I don't think ultimately they're going to be successful. This is, again, just another attack that the left is trying to use to, disqualify Donald Trump.
Fortunately, those founders created a system of checks and balances that includes the Supreme Court. Right. Is there any chance that the Supreme Court allows a state to operate like this, to do this?
I don't think so, but what I would expect is this, Todd, would move very quickly through the courts if it happened. I mean, we're talking about essentially a ballot challenge, and if a state were to remove a candidate, I would expect that would move its way through the courts on an expedited basis, and we'd probably know within weeks whether this novel legal theory holds any weight, which I don't expect it does.
The president told people to protest peacefully. He was not carrying a musket. Correct me if I'm wrong. Matt Whitaker, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Peacefully and patriotically.
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much. Good to see you, Todd.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.